Hi, welcome to the fourth part of this video series on advanced data visualization. In this part, we want to continue our data exploration by visualization. We want to view, see the trends and patterns in our data set by creating some charts. And I would like us to jump right in as we continue with this aspect of this video series. So Pandas data frames are a great way to wrangle data, but to see trends and patterns, to find key insights and identify outliers in the data, it generally helps to actually visualize them in a meaningful way. So Python has some of the best graphing packages available to facilitate this, which include Matplotlib and Seaborn. These are some of the two most commonly used packages for a variety of visualizations. Visualizations are a vital tool for presenting your data. So over the next few videos, I'll be showing you and demonstrating with a number of useful visualizations. Then the first thing I would like to do is to set my color palette preference using SNS.setPalette. I'm picking my spectral_R, and I want to pick the number of colors, 4 of those colors. So nothing's going to pop up here because I'm not showing any output. I'm just setting my color preference. All right, so the first type of chart we'll look at is a histogram. A histogram is very similar to a bar chart, except that it groups data or puts it into ranges. These groupings/ranges are called bins. So the different groupings that histogram uses to classify or group similar bars, they are called bins. Seaborn and Matplotlib have their own histogram functions. Seaborn will combine the histogram with a distribution for if prompted to do so. If you want to display the distribution, simply add the argument KDE equals true to your plot for Seaborn, and then to combine it together with a distribution. Can you think of why a distribution will be related to histogram? Well, just go ahead and do that thinking about it or yourself or by yourself. We'll look at it practically here. Now let's look at how to graph histogram in both Matplotlib and Seaborn. We'll start with graphing histogram with Seaborn. So I'm setting my variables fig_args, that is fig_axis equal to plt.subplots 2,1, and we have fixed size of 8,5. So what I'm trying to do here is to create two charts. So I want a 2x1 charts, which means I'll have 2 rows and 1 chart on 2 rows and 1 column, I mean to say. So with this setup of subplots, as you can see, I'm using the method called subplots. With the subplots, it's going to create 2 different histogram in 1 column, and these are the 2 histograms I'm about to create. One of them would be without a distribution, the other one will be with a distribution. So I'm creating a histogram for the age column, and I want to use beams of 5. So Seaborn will automatically group the ages into 5 beams, and then I'll select the element I'm going to be using. There is called step. There are different elements you can choose from that place, from this step function. When you run the docstring of the histogram histplot, you would find about those other different step elements you can use. Now the axis, I want this chart to be positioned is the first axis. Now because I used fig_axis, so the axis here is what gives me the ability to create multiple charts in one output. So I can create a 2x2 chart, a 2x3, 3x1. So I'll run this cell and then change this number, run it again, so that you can see the effect of this 2x1 and 2x2 and so on. Alright, so in the second chart, I'll be having the same soccer age column with 5 beams, the element step. Then this time around we are adding KDE true, which means we want our distribution. Then we want the charts to be positioned in the second axis, that is with axis of index 1. Don't forget that axis of index 0 will be the first axis, and the one with index 1 is the second axis. So I would like my axis of index 1, the first chart, to be called histogram for ages, and the second chart to be called histogram of ages with distribution. And how do I set that? Use ax of 0, that is the first axis, dot set title, and ax.1 dot set title. And with that, give me the plt.title layout. Title layout will bring this chart together and close up any white spaces or unnecessary white spaces between the charts. Then plt.show, as usual, will show the chart. Let's run this cell, and once we run this cell, you can see the outputs, right? So here's the output. I have the first histogram without the distribution, and the second histogram with the distribution. So this is what is responsible. 2,1 is what's responsible for making the two charts on two different rows and one column. Like I said, when we change this number 2,2, let's see what that will give. I think that will give us an error because of course, yes, it will give an error, but this is what is expected to see. So Python is expecting to see two other axes, let's say ax of 2 and ax of 3, but nothing was given to it. That is why it's returning this error, but it gives you the layout. So this is the expected layout for a 2x2, which means you have two charts in the row and two charts in the column. So that's what this axis does. If I change this to 3x2, that means it's expected to see 3 charts in the row and 2 charts in 2 columns and 3 charts. So that's how to create multiple charts in one output. Let's get back and change this into 2x1 because that is what we have defined already in our chart. And 2x1, we get back our 2x1 chart. Alright, so that's how to create a histogram using Seaborn. Now for Python, for matplotlib, all you need to do to create your histogram is use your plt.fig and plt.xlabel, plt.hist. When you run this, it gives you the histogram. So I have the histogram in just one output. You can add distribution for the matplotlib, but you can do that with Seaborn. Alright, so I would like you to also lay your hands on this exercise to see how to try creating your histogram using the EDA package to answer the questions below. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you again in the next one. Goodbye.